without succumbing to a lot of liberals who've been pointing out this hypocrisy for a long time. He has that thing that Trump has, this kind of Teflon shield where any critique of what he says rolls off. And some of it, I think, is because liberals often overcharge him, like charge him with more than they can prove, in the same way they did with Donald Trump. So, for example, there's an anecdote at the beginning of part one of this series that opens. It opens talking about how he's covering immigrants at the southern border, and he described this. He described them as making America poorer and dirtier. People obviously objected to this. He says, look, this isn't racism. This is just the facts of the matter. Here's a report that says for every immigrant that comes to the southern border, there's 8 pounds of trash that get left in the desert. It's literally dirtier. And I think that for people who subscribe to his, broader politic and feel themselves to be underdogs, don't necessarily want to see themselves as racist, even if their behavior might indicate otherwise, there's enough plausible deniability in most of what he says that liberals who critique him as being racist, the critique doesn't land. And in fact, Tucker Carlson then weaponizes that and says they want to shut us up by calling us racist. And I see that pattern working out. And in my personal life, it has caused me to want to avoid the whole thing because it seems like a lose-lose. But that also, when I read an article like this and see his growing influence and see the growing influence of this kind of thinking, to your point, Max, it's not just about Tucker Carlson. And I'm starting to feel like ignoring it is not adequate at the same time as I don't know exactly how to combat that quicksand that he set up for us.
And that right there is why Briahna is one of my favorite. She really delivers. What she said right there is absolutely 100% on point. Tucker Carlson is in that category that I referred to as an elite propagandist. Now, here's a woman who's very smart, legal background, so she would seem to be the perfect person to deal with someone like Tucker Carlson in terms of from a debate standpoint or argumentation. But she admits here that she finds him quite a challenge, and that is because Tucker Carlson is one of the best propagandists we have in this country. I'm not saying that trying to insult him or call him names. I'm just saying facts. As someone who does a lot of reporting on a lot of propagandists and propaganda, so I've seen what these guys do. Tucker Carlson is at the very, very top. You've got him, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, and Tim Pool. Tim Pool is actually very, very good in his manipulative tactics. And she pretty much laid it out. He says stuff. Tucker Carlson is a genius at taking something that is very disgusting, very sick and twisted and racist. And like some form of political poet, he's able to choose the right words, have the correct pace, delivery, expressions on his face, timing, that he's able to present to you something that is grotesque. But it's kind of like you're at the doctor's office and you're going to get an injection, and the doctor asks you a question about your day or something personal, and you start getting into it, and in the middle of your conversation, boom, you don't even see it coming. You don't even see Tucker Carlson coming. He connects with you on an emotional level, much like Trump does, and he distracts you with decoys in terms of how he packages this idea that he's trying to communicate that he could never just plainly state. And while you're distracted with the decoys and you're getting caught up in the emotion, he's conveying this disgusting message to you. And then people who recognize this and point it out to you, you reject them because the way he packages the message is such that, again, the deniability. He literally took the great replacement theory, which white supremacists are applauding him for promoting, right? So they acknowledge it. They take ownership of his rhetoric being their own, right? Ben Shapiro would like you to believe that that's not what he's doing, but the white supremacists claim what Tucker's talking about. But he takes their rhetoric, which is disgusting, and he rewords it in a way that gives you that deniability. It's kind of like, no, it's not racist. It's just you're importing all these people and it's changing the demographics and it's changing the political power. It's taking away power from people who are there and blah, 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 blah. Right? Puts it in a way where it sounds so innocent, but it's not. But you will never be able to explain that to someone who likes his content. He words things so cleverly that they will fall for it. He gives them the little sort of treats, little sprinkles of apology. Oh no, that's not what he's saying. He's just saying that whatever. And that's true, isn't it? It's factually what he's not lying. Da-da-da. You're just presenting it in that way because you've been watching liberal media and CNN and da-da-da. Right. Tucker Carlson is very good at what he does, and people who watch a lot of his content will definitely experience some level of brainwashing. In fact, even though I know what he does, he is that good that I would be wary of myself watching too much of him. Same with Tim Pool. I think more so Tim Pool than Tucker, but either of these guys, I would not want to be watching too much of their content. Now, a lot of the broad points are not going to penetrate, but on a subconscious level, watching his content over and over again, there is a risk of even myself being sort of led down a rabbit hole, shall we say. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate Me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Go check out Bad Faith Podcast. She is absolutely awesome, if I do say so myself. She's on my extremely short list, and I think she should be on yours. Right wing, left wing, doesn't matter.